previous tutorial we used sequential statements to do a calculation to convert the temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit. In this particular example, what we're going to do is use an if statement so that we can essentially get information from the user as to which value they want to convert to, i.e. Celsius or Fahrenheit. So to do that, we'll add some more variables. So we'll make one called convert to, and this will basically hold the value that the user or the trigger for us to look at in the if statement to see whether we want to convert to centigrade, Celsius or Fahrenheit. Okay, and we'll make another variable this time called value to convert, and that will be the actual value that we want to convert, so it'll be an integer value. I'll click OK. Now that we've added these new variables, you can see that they appear over here on the stage just underneath where we've had some where we've got the Celsius and Fahrenheit. So what we'll need to do is, using these variables, we'll need to set convert to equal to, well, we need some sort of input from the user, so we'll need to use the pop-up message again, and we'll just ask the user a question. So the question will be, would you like to convert to Celsius or Fahrenheit? And then we'll prompt the user by saying enter C or F. This is to try and make sure that they enter only C or F and not any kind of other values. We haven't as of yet seen how to determine what the user's entered, and we'll leave that for another time. We'll just assume that the user will do as they're asked. Okay, so I'll just type up that question. Right, now that that's been typed up, what we'll do is we'll drag that and we'll stick it in here, because remember, it's the input that comes back from this statement that will be stored in this variable called convert. Okay, so next thing we need to do is go to the next variable that we want, and that's the value to convert. So we'll take out another set and we'll select value to convert, and at this point what we'll do is we'll take the value again using a pop-up box and get input. So we can use this one rather than retyping anything, drag it down and into here. So these two will lock together, and we'll take these away just now, we'll move them down to here. We're going to come back and use them in a minute, and we'll move these two up to here. Okay, so that's us, we're set with asking the user whether they want to convert to Celsius or Fahrenheit, and we're going to get a value in from the user. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to go into control and use an if structure, okay, or an if statement, and we'll lock that on there. Now the idea of the if statement is that if, and in here we'll put a condition, what we call a condition. If a certain condition is met, then we do whatever we place in here, else or otherwise we do whatever statements are placed in here. Okay, so at the moment we'll need to build that condition. So if we go back to operators, we're going to use a comparison operator. Okay, this one here, and we'll put that there, and go back to variables and select convert to, slot that in there, and we'll check to see if it equals C for Celsius. We'll then take that and drop it in here. So now if convert to, the value that we got from the user here, equals C, then we will convert, break that up, to Celsius, otherwise we'll convert to Fahrenheit. Okay, so we'll need to build the formula for this, and we'll also need to change this formula, and I'll come back to that in a wee minute. Okay, so what we're going to have to do here is go back to operators, and we're going to have to build up the formula. So the formula for converting to Celsius is that we take the value that we have in Fahrenheit, we take away 32, and we multiply that by 5 divided by 9. So working on that basis, we're going to need this arithmetic operator to do a subtraction, this arithmetic operator to do a multiplication, and this arithmetic operator to do a division. So the first thing that we have here is that it's Fahrenheit minus 32, so we can put that in, and that is multiplied by 5 divided by 9. Now the question that we have to ask is what goes in here? Which variable do we put in here? If we look back at the code that we've already got, you can see that it's sitting there saying Celsius. But we don't actually take that value in from the user. It's not one of the variables that's available to us from the user. So what we're going to have to do is use this variable here called value to convert. So if we go back to variables and we drag value to convert onto here, then we take the whole of this and place it in here. Now what we need to do is alter this one, so we take out Celsius, drop it over here, grab value to convert and drop it in there. So hopefully that's us got our program. Now just before we run it, if we click save as, and instead of calling it temp conversion sequence, we'll call it selection, because it uses an if statement to select what we do. So we'll say OK, and that's us now saved that. Okay, so we'll give it a wee run and see what happens. Would we like to convert to Celsius or Fahrenheit? Well, let's just start with C first of all, and we'll say OK. Now we're asked what value do we want to put in. We'll put in 25. Now just before I click OK, you can see there that convert to is now saying C, and we'll click in here OK, and the value to convert is 25, and Fahrenheit, or sorry, Celsius is minus 3.9. Okay, so 25 Fahrenheit converted to Celsius is minus 3.9. So let's run it again, and this time we'll do a conversion the other way, and we'll say F for Fahrenheit, click OK, and we'll put a value in there, and we'll put 25 again, because this time we're saying we've got 25 centigrade Celsius. What is that in Fahrenheit? And in Fahrenheit it's 77. Okay, now what we'll do again is, just to show you how this works, we'll take that back to single step and we'll run again. So we're taking in a value here, okay, and we'll make it convert to centigrade so that we can see the steps and what happens. We'll click OK. So we'll single step on to the next one, and we'll enter a value. Okay, and this time we'll pick, say, 32. Okay, and we'll single step through again. Now notice we're at the comparison now, so we'll compare convert to, which we know is sitting at C, to see if it equals C. Now if it does, it should drop in to this calculation here at this line. We'll see what happens, and there we are, it's dropped into the right place, and we'll just single step through all of that, and you should see that Celsius now equals 0. Okay, and we'll single step through to the end. Okay, we'll run that one last time, and this time we'll do the conversion to Fahrenheit, and you can see the difference. Okay, again this time we'll say F for Fahrenheit, and we'll single step, enter the value, 32, we'll enter again, say OK, single step. Now at this point again we're back into the comparison on the if, so we're comparing this condition. So remember last time when it did equal C, it went in to do Celsius, but we know this time that we've got convert to is now sitting at F. So what we want to do is, or what we hope will happen, is it goes into this else part. So we'll see, we'll single step through, and there we go, we went into the else part because we know we're going to convert to Fahrenheit, and we'll click through the various statements so that we can see, and 32 converted is 89.6. okay, and that's that done. So hopefully that was quite useful for you, and in the next one what we'll do is we'll have a wee look at iteration, which is essentially just repeating a number of statements. Okay.